Movies. Addicts. Movie Addicts Anonymous. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. This is Movie Addicts Anonymous, where every media junkie is welcome. I'm Jay. This is...
me. Don't say my name.
Okay.
No more saying my name.
A Destiny's Child reference there, but...
No more saying my name.
But today we're gonna be reviewing and talking about Eternals. This is coming late. The movie has...
Really late.
The movie's
not even in theaters anymore, is it?
The movie has been out and flopped.
I was right, you fuckers. Go watch the initial trailer reaction. I was fucking right, goddammit. And all of you shit on me for it, and I was fucking right.
I really liked the movie.
I thought I'd hate it. And
Yeah.
I think that made me like it. And honestly, while watching it, I was like, ugh. But then afterwards, like when I gave it some more thought, I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I actually did like it.
There was a lot to it though. Like there's so much to cover. So normally we do like Movie Addict Chips. So this time we're just gonna talk about each character. But before we do that, let's get into some stats of the movie. This movie came out November 5th, 2021. That was a long time ago. That was like almost a month ago.
Wait, yeah, no, that was actually, yeah.
Wow.
That was like 20 days ago.
The budget was $200 million. The opening weekend brought in $71 million. And last I checked, worldwide, it's made $170 million.
Total?
But by now it's probably up to around $200 million.
So barely.
Yeah, it's barely broke even. So this is what we call a flop in the business. That sucks.
$200 million? That's a lot for this movie. I feel like they should have held it, because going back to our initial reaction, how I said general audiences may not take kindly to this movie because it's so far different from regular Marvel movies. Remember when I said that? Fuck you, I was right.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have put $200 million into this.
Yeah.
That's just my, like from a business perspective, I think they should have realized, like, maybe general audiences that normally watch, like, Spider-Man wouldn't be as into this. So
have you seen the new trailer for Spider-Man?
Yes, I'm so hard for that movie.
Me too. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So this movie was directed by Chloe Zhao. Don't cancel me. Apparently she did Nomadland, The Rider, Songs My Brother Taught Me. I'm not really familiar with this director, but apparently she does award-winning movies. And the IMDb gave it a 6.9 out of 10. Haha, 69. And Rotten Tomatoes critically got 47%, but audience gave it an 80%.
Wow, critical 47. I really thought, because, okay, so there's been a few movies over the last few years where Rotten Tomatoes just does not give a good representation for the score. Either they're giving 100% when the movie is very clearly like a 60, or they're giving like a 10 when the movie's very clearly something else.
Well, the percentage is the percentage of critics that gave it a good review.
Yeah, so I actually... I think it could be, in my opinion, I think 60. I think 80 audience is a little... But not that many people have seen it, so the people that actually went and saw it are people that wanted to see it and knew about it. So that's why audience is probably skewed a bit higher. But I think once more people see it, I just feel like it was a solid 60.
I usually agree with IMDb around the 6.9 area.
Yeah, so I agree with IMDb on this one. And normally I don't. I normally agree with Rotten Tomatoes more.
Yeah. No, I usually always agree with IMDb. I don't know why. So our next segment is my personal favorite segment. Jack hasn't been here to do this. Is box office predictions, where we predict the upcoming movie, what we think the domestic opening box office will be. And then next week we decide a winner. And... this is really hard.
Can I look up past movies in the series?
Yeah, if you want to, but no.
Okay, I won't.
Well, this is going to be completely new. This is rebranded. They really worked with the game developer company to create this, to make this movie a lot like the games. I don't know. Like, it's very hard. It's not even like the time of year for a Resident Evil movie. It seems weird. I'm going to go 50 million.
Shit. Because I remember looking this up a while ago, like the old ones did perform semi-well.
Well, yeah, I mean, they made like 7 of them. So
yeah, so they did. I'm saying 20. Okay. 20 mil.
Okay.
Because I don't think Yeah, I think part of it is maybe it's not the time of year. Like, if this was released in October, more people would go see it.
Yeah.
I also think it's a video game movie, and historically they haven't done very well because they're just kind of shitty.
I might be overplaying it here, but I just have
watch
a lot
it
of
be
hope
like
for
a
it.
dead middle split between us.
Well, the last time, because there's 3 of us when I'm here with Eric, Sophie, and me, and we boxed him into like he had to pick one.
Yeah.
And he got the exact number.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm saying 20, but I feel like it could be 30 or 40, but I think 20 is a solid guess.
Well, the winner is like whoever's closest.
Yeah, I think 20 is a solid. Watch it be like 5 million.
Yeah, that would suck. So we will check that. We're gonna watch that movie, and when you want to do the podcast for that next week.
Yeah, let's do that next week.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see it Saturday, just so everybody knows.
All right, so let's go into top build, also our movie addict chips, where we're just gonna, because there's so many characters. I usually do the top 5 build of a movie, and there's 11 main characters. This is a true ensemble cast.
Yeah, let's just go one by one, and then we give our thoughts, and then go to the second one.
So top build, which is, I thought it was strange that she was top build, but Gemma Chan playing Cersei. She's known for Minerva in Captain Marvel.
Another Marvel movie.
She was in Crazy Rich Asians in 2018.
That was huge. I still haven't seen that.
I think that's where she made her big break. From what I know her most is in the show Humans from 2015 to 18. She was also in a Fantastic Beasts movie. She was also in a Transformers movie. So she has been in a lot of big franchises.
She's been around.
But I think Crazy Rich Asians and now this is what's going to really break her career. How did you like the character?
I can see why she was top billed because I could tell that they were trying to make her the main character.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, like with a cast like this large and so many characters, she was the best at like molding all of them together. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like her
she was
character,
like the team leader,
but not even that really. I just think her character had enough connections with all the other characters, and so I guess team leader. But I think her character ultimately made the whole like she was the glue of the movie. Like, and that's how I see it, and I can understand why she's top billed. And I liked her performance.
Yeah, she was really good. I think she's a really good actress. She's really pretty too. Like, I think
you always go to the looks. How dare you? Yeah,
but the looks of her though is like she's not like what you would think of a cookie cutter like main lead woman. But like she's so beautiful in her own way. I don't know if I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on looks.
Yeah.
So
don't
because we know that I'm gonna get canceled. He's fine. And I could say the same exact thing and I'd get shit on. So
they'd be like, white guys hate Asian women. Yeah,
she's beautiful. And, now I'm gonna get shit on for saying she's beautiful.
Yeah, and I thought her power was really cool. The transforming matter, that was really interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of a annoying plot device where they completely relied on her power at the very end. And can we also explain that now there's just going to be a massive hole in the earth where just a marble celestial is just halfway out of the earth?
I think that's cool.
Is that just,
I was thinking about that when that happened.
Just think of the repercussions to the planet. Like, I feel like that would set...
Oh, yeah, there was totally a tsunami somewhere.
And that would set, like, the Earth off its axis. Like, I
don't give a shit about that. I just think, because you're totally going to see this pop up in other... Like, watch. Like, the next Avengers movie, they're going to go to the Celestial...
Yeah, like it's gonna be like a landmark in the MCU now.
But I think that's cool because I do kind of shit on the MCU at times, but it's also incredibly brilliant. Yeah. And I think being able to like include this, it's just neat.
That is cool.
It is neat. It plays into other movies more so than this movie, but well, not really because it was kind of the ultimate ending. But you know what I mean. Like it's gonna be there in the next 5 Marvel movies.
The visuals in this movie were amazing.
Oh, that was one of my main reasons where in our initial reaction to the trailer, where I said I think general audiences aren't going to like this that much, is because it just the color grading, the actual look of this movie was not a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It was kind of more of a work of art than anything else.
And I think that's why I liked it more than most Marvel movies I've seen lately, because it just felt like a palate cleanser to me of like something new.
Yeah, it didn't really... I mean, it was a Marvel movie, but... It felt like once I was done with it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I actually liked that. Like, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I wouldn't mind if Marvel went this direction.
And do you think that the Celestial that was inside Earth kind of chose to let her freeze him? Because I feel like he should have been able to overpower her. Like,
Well, wasn't it just like a little baby Celestial? Wasn't that the?
Yeah, but I wonder
know.
if he like kind of decided humans were worth saving. I don't know. That was one of my. So second build is Richard Madden. Oh, so gorgeous.
I thought he'd be top.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Icarus. He was obviously known for Game of Thrones. The show Bodyguard on Netflix, really good.
Haven't seen that.
And Rocket Man, where he plays like Elton John's love interest.
I feel like
he was Homelander from The Boys.
Who?
Icarus. His character was pretty much Homelander from
The
Boys.
Yeah. Okay, I thought you said Richard Madden played him. I was like, no, he didn't.
No, but his character was pretty much him.
I don't know how much I liked his character, but then again, I think that was the point of his character.
That was the point.
So I like,
and the trailer completely ruined the twist of him killing Ajax.
Which trailer?
The trailer
Did
we
I
watched.
See it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't remember
because
that.
it showed him talking to Ajax in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then we cut to her dead at that same scene that he was talking to her.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do.
So I was like, obviously he was...
She was not... I feel like she should have been utilized more.
I know. Salma Hayek.
We'll go back. We'll go to her later, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, think of which one do you think you were late with and you would be closest to out of all of them as we go through.
Watch, I'm going to pick one, and then people in the comments are going to say, red flag, that's problematic.
Are you Icarus?
Yeah.
Yeah, so his power, he's pretty much Superman. What did you feel, how did you like him and Cersei's relationship? I guess the idea that he left her because he knew the truth. Remember, he found out the truth of why they were just clones or whatever, and
yeah,
he left. I was rooting for her to be with Kit Harington, but
they're just like robots. Like that threw me off too. It's like weird.
Yeah, that they were all just kind of like they were
just robots.
They were created by the Celestials.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was interesting, but it was just kind of an obvious twist for me. And also, again, it might be because I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
And watched breakdowns of it.
Yeah. I can't say much more about him. Next one.
Yeah. Top 3 or number 3 is Angelina Jolie playing Thena. She's just known for being Angelina Jolie.
That's literally, I was gonna say that.
Blonde-haired Angelina.
But I also think, so now that we're going through them, I think it's getting, this was my main problem with the movie.
Yeah.
I just think there was a little bit too much going on.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, little bit way too much going on.
Yeah.
And I think, like, because we get to Angelina Jolie, the number one thing that I can remember was her whole, like, mental breakdowns.
Going crazy. They underutilized her. I feel like...
the only thing, they only used her for those mental breakdowns.
Yeah.
And then they used that as a plot device for them to actually figure out what the hell is going on. So I understand why they had it there, but I think, like, I don't want to say they shoehorned stuff in here, but I feel like they did have to push for certain characters with their actual what they were doing in the movie.
I think this would have been a much better like Disney Plus series.
I think if they took
and they could have done
8 or 10 episodes an hour long a piece,
and
this would have been show of the decade.
Yeah, and
like
if they did like 10 episodes and like focused each episode on one of the characters,
dude, it would have been one of the top. Like seriously, I think if they
that would have been good.
And this isn't. I'm not saying that it was bad because I liked it. I just think it could have been done more justice.
Yeah, and
if it had more time, but
very cluttered.
Not in a movie format.
Yeah,
I agree. Like I think a 3 or 4 hour long movie. Fuck that. Like that wouldn't have been like the pacing would have been difficult. A TV show?
Yeah.
This thing would have killed.
Yeah, like a 10 episode series.
This would have fucking killed. Now I wish they did a TV show.
And like each episode goes into a character and they could go back into the 7,000 years they're on the planet. Yeah.
Like, and they've set the precedent with the other Marvel shows that these movie actors can do shows and they can still be movie level quality. Yeah. So but this was all kind of planned before the Disney Plus stuff, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
And they weren't going to do a big name title like Eternals and not make it a movie.
Yeah.
But
I hope we see...
nowadays I feel like TV shows are bigger than movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I want to see the Eternals go into a TV show at some point.
Yeah.
And also I think following movies will be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Eternals movies, I think they'll be fucking sick.
Yeah, because you gotta remember this is essentially a phase 1 movie again.
Yeah.
This is just introducing them. Yeah.
I think it's set up I think it set up some cool characters. Ultimately, like that, like skipping to the end, like my ultimate take, it set up some cool shit to come.
Yeah.
Wasn't a huge fan of this though.
Yeah.
But that's like kind of the thing with all Marvel movies is they're just setting up the next thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the Spider-Man movies so much. I think
because it's their own thing.
They're their own thing, and that's mostly because Sony has a part in it.
Yeah,
they're like, don't fucking do this with my character.
Yeah, Sony's like, we'll give you some screen time for the rest of the universe, but we're focusing on Spider-Man.
But that's why I think those, because the villains in those movies too, pretty fucking decent.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man 1, very fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, and then again,
Vulture is like the best villain in the MCU.
And then Infinity War Endgame, I like Infinity War, but that's because everything's coming to an end. And I just think Marvel's like intermediary stuff, they're always trying to do the, like, get people to go to the next thing. And it works, but I think it takes away from some of the creativity that, like, this movie could have had.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's hard to compare any movie to Infinity War Endgame because that's a once in like a century type of movie
But the whole reason that they got there is because of the
20 movies.
The 20 movies working up to that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just kind of want one of those 20 movies to be a good one of those 20 movies.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, I just want a Marvel movie that doesn't have end credits.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That'll never happen. But that's my sentiment, is I just want one of those type of Marvel movies.
Yeah. The fourth build is Salma Hayek playing Ajak. I'm just really glad we got to see Salma Hayek say Thanos. That was cool. I was very excited about that. I thought she did really good. I liked her character, the healing power. From what they showed of her,
I think it was cool because they kind of referred to her not as a god, but like that's what I mean. Like she was this thing in the past that like kind of had this. She still had a hold over the whole team. After her passing, you know what I mean? Like she was an influential leader.
Her death was the inciting incident of the movie.
Yeah, it kind of felt like she was there the entire movie.
Yeah,
even though she wasn't. But like that's how influential her character was in that universe right there.
The biggest laugh for me in this movie though is when Icarus threw her over the ledge to kill her. And she's like running from the deviants, and she reaches back, and there's just conveniently a gun right next to her.
I think he threw it down there with her.
Okay,
or
let's
not.
Go with that.
I can't remember.
I was like, why is there a gun?
Or didn't they show that there was like a mine there?
Yeah, there was, but it was just funny because it showed a like establishing shot of her just empty in a ice field.
Yeah, and then there was a gun.
Okay,
yeah, fair enough.
For some reason, it just made me laugh.
I remember you just started giggling.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
I know, I couldn't handle it. But when I watch movies, I have stupid continuity errors like that go off in my head. And then fifth build, surprisingly enough, was Kit Harington.
I'm sorry, like people may hate me for this.
Played as Dane, will be Black Knight.
Yes, that was my biggest takeaway from this movie. This was the number one thing that I enjoyed was his one line at the end, like, family history. I need to tell you something.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part in the entire movie.
Yeah.
And people may hate me for that, but I think opening up, because Blade is coming, I just think
it's going to be cool.
That's going to open up a cool side of the Marvel Universe
that
I'm more excited for than like Sentinels and all that.
Yeah.
Or that's what they're called, right? Celestials. Sentinels are in X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Celestials.
Which are now MCU canon.
Yeah, and I'm excited for that once they finally get around to doing that. Like, it'll be sick. So I just think Eternals isn't really for me, so people don't hate on me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, clearly look at the audience critical IMDb score. Some people just don't like this movie. I liked it, but I'm not too excited about future things.
Yeah, you're not like fanboying over it. So I mean, his character didn't really show much, but he did good, like we all assumed he would, and it's leading into big things with Black Knight post-credit scene. That was really cool.
We didn't see that. We didn't stick around for it, but apparently Blade.
I did hear him.
I tried to find it like the night of, and I couldn't.
Oh really?
I'll have to watch it after.
Just go to New Rockstars. And Blade, like it doesn't show Blade, but he said like you hear Blade's voice.
I also I'm gonna get ahead of the comment section here. I like how I was just shitting on the end credit scene, and now I'm fanboying over the end credit scene.
Well, lately,
I
know, but the past few MCU movies, the most exciting thing about the movies have been the post-credit scenes.
Yeah,
like Venom.
Yeah.
That was the most exciting thing about Venom, that he's in the MCU.
Oh, I fucking forgot about that.
Yeah.
That I completely forgot. Okay.
So he's good. Yeah, he was in the MCU now. Shang-Chi when they said there's like a beacon in the rings at the end. Like, it's been, like the post-credit scenes have been the best part of these movies.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean is I feel, and my whole point earlier was like, yes, I really enjoy the end credit scenes, but that's because those were the best parts in
they shouldn't,
my opinion.
They shouldn't be the best part.
And
of the
I feel
movie.
like the reason that they are the best parts is because the whole movie has to kind of lead into the next thing.
Yeah.
If they just gave the movie like standalone freedom, I think I'd be more excited for the movie than the post credits. That's my whole point. I don't want people to shit on me.
That's why it's because nowadays Marvel movies are feeling like chapters in a book rather than a movie. And I think the post credit scenes are most exciting for people like me or us that have been invested for 10 years. But if you're just a person that's never watched the MCU, you wouldn't even care about the post-credit scene, and that's not good.
But I wonder if people jumping into the MCU who've never watched a Marvel movie are confused as fuck. Like, I wonder if they're to a point now where it's like pushed like the general, like people like grandparents out so much that they're like, what the fuck? What?
I don't think now, if you started with like Black Widow and going forward, you're kind of in a phase 1 again, so we're just introducing a bunch of new characters. They'd get confused by a few cameos here and there, but I think now it's fine.
Yeah, and then honestly would probably push them like to go watch all of them, and then they just make more money.
So have you thought that you're any of these characters yet, or related to any of them?
Yeah, well, and I'm gonna get shit for this, but I'm gonna say Richard Madden, Icarus.
Yeah, you think
because he was. Well, I think he was just ultimately loyal.
Yeah, he's very loyal and devoted.
And that's, I'm not saying that like
Icarus isn't supposed to be a villain. Like, he is like a hero.
Yeah, he just has a different perspective on what's going on. I think he was incredibly
he's like
loyal.
Thanos, the greater. And this blew the water out of Thanos being bad. Thanos delayed the emergence happening.
I know.
So was Thanos right the whole time?
Yeah. Like, was he like actually helping them?
Yeah, because if he would have successfully cut the population in the whole universe in half,
he did.
Yeah,
and then they redid it. But
if they wouldn't have redone it, he would have stopped emergences all over the universe for a while. Because they have to wait until the planets are at a certain...
But are they really bad though? That's why I like think Icarus isn't a villain. That's what I mean. Are they really bad?
No, because in the long run, like,
you need them.
Yeah,
and that's what I think
the universe is gonna end without them.
That's what I think I actually enjoyed the most about this movie.
Yeah,
is it was a little bit deeper.
Yeah,
and it had some more. It took more brain power to understand what the fuck was going on versus like a Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and like we'll get to it, but the kid, I forget, Sprite.
Yeah,
like that whole, like, it was a cool aside, like little arc for the character.
Yeah,
but her like being in love and being trapped in a kid's body, fucking interesting.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like all these little like just, I guess, more philosophical things. Like it took like it was interesting. That's what I enjoyed the most, and that's why I wish like a miniseries happened, because they could explore it so much more.
Yeah, they could have, instead of...
I was just jerking off the air.
That felt very shoehorned in, where he's randomly like, you've been in love with Icarus forever. I'm like,
that felt shoehorned in, but I really liked it.
No, it was a good story plot,
and
I
wish that it had 2 hour-long episodes to develop, not 30 minutes, you know?
That's the problem with this movie, is what makes a good screenplay and what makes a good movie is them showing, not telling. Showing you things. This movie had to tell you a lot. So you had no idea she was even interested at all in Icarus until he said, you've been in love with him. We're like, okay.
Fuck, a miniseries would have been so good. I'm just imagining it in my head, like, fuck, it would have been so goddamn... And then they could have waited till, like, episode 4 to introduce Angelina Jolie and Gilgamesh. And, god damn it.
It would have been really good.
It would have been really good.
So 6 build is, how do you say?
Kumail Nanjiani. Kumail.
As Kingo.
Steroids.
That is me. I feel like I'm Kingo of the Eternals. I love him so much. He's like a Bollywood actor. It's so good.
I love his little lisp, and I'm not shitting on him. I just think it's a cool like trait that he has as a person, and I'm not shitting on him for it. I think it makes him interesting.
It's cool,
you know.
And he's a very well-known comedy actor from Silicon Valley and Portlandia, but I really liked his character. He brought a lot of levity and like comedic relief to this role. Yeah. Him and his like producer there was so funny.
Holy fuck. Yeah. I think that's probably some of the best comedy in a Marvel movie as of yet.
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah. Yeah, like dramatic shit's happening. He's like, did you get that? No. Like, It's so good. Like I love the fact that he was just himself, like over and over in a bunch of movies.
Yeah,
he's like, this is my great grandfather.
Yeah,
like, it just looks the same.
I think I want to go rewatch this.
Yeah,
because it like.
I think
I'll like it more the second time around.
That's how I've been liking all of them. Like I watched Shang-Chi a second time around. So
you liked it more. Yeah.
I've liked it more. I think, this movie is just so big it warrants a second watch because there's so much in it.
I think I liked it a lot more. Maybe I do agree with the audience on like an 80% for this one. Yeah. Maybe I do.
No, I mean,
now that we're going through it, yeah. But I do think it could have been better, and I wish that it was better. That's my ultimate ending statement.
And then 7th build is
Sprite.
Leah Mayhew playing Sprite. She was known for, in 2019, The Lodge and Into the Dark also.
I didn't like her that much at first, but she actually grew on me.
She had a good storyline. I was getting hints of like they were kind of using her storyline as a symbolism for like trans people, like being stuck in a body that you don't like, or maybe I'm stretching.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I just think...
But I thought it was cool, and then at the very end, Cersei just randomly has the power to turn her human. We're like, okay.
Wait, what?
At the very end, Cersei touched her, and she's like, "You're human now. You're gonna age."
What?
You didn't catch that?
There's too much in this movie. I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot that.
But yeah, so no, I like that. But like I said,
wait, remember? I do remember halfway through the movie, I was like, if they're gonna make future movies, this kid needs to grow up.
Yeah, so that's what they did.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Besides the fact of her love interest in Icarus being shoehorned in, it was a cool storyline, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, I just wish that was explored more.
Yeah.
Again, I just wish that this whole movie had more time to be explored.
And there's no way to add more.
There's no way.
And then 8th build is Brian Tyree Henry playing Phastos. He was a really cool character. He's known from Atlanta, The Woman in the Window. That's such a good movie. He was in Godzilla vs. Kong. Remember the guy with the podcast that was like breaking into that? Because we went to the theaters to see Godzilla Kong.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to remember which one this guy was. Yeah.
And then
his character was really good.
And then he was a voice in Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, no, he was good. I liked him being the engineer and the first openly gay superhero. We have that.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing it took him this long. I will say. I thought cut this out if I'm wrong. I thought Captain Marvel was gay.
I get a lot of like Leslie McGuire vibes from her. Like Captain Marvel's kind of like your aunt that comes to Thanksgiving with her platonic
No, cut this
friend
out.
Barb.
Don't make jokes. You got to cut this out.
No, I can do it.
Cut this out.
No, that's a funny joke.
No, okay, next one.
Carol Danvers is like, oh, this is Aunt Carol with her platonic friend. Wait, damn it. What's the Maria?
I don't condone this behavior. What the fuck is wrong with him? Comment section. Red flag.
Aunt Carol, their platonic friend Maria.
Red fucking flag.
They like softball.
Red goddamn fucking flag.
But yeah, so he was a really cool character. I liked his storyline as well.
I'm happy that, because I've watched Atlanta, he's one of the best characters in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm happy he kind of got his big break.
Yeah.
He's a very good actor, and I like him a lot.
And then 9th build is Lauren Ridloff playing Makari. Very forgettable for me. Who
the fuck is this?
Oh, she was the deaf one.
Oh, yeah.
The Flash version of MCU. She was in The Walking Dead.
And I haven't watched that in a while.
And she only started in 2018 till now. But her storyline was just kind of forgettable. I mean, she was just reading books the whole time.
But I thought she was a cute character. You know what I mean? Like when they find her in the place and she was reading, she's just cute. Yeah. She was very like in her smile. But this is what I mean. She could have been explored so more because I think they could have done some cool shit with her.
Yeah. Speaking of, going into our 10th build is Barry Keoghan, a Druid.
Imagine a whole episode of him on his little farm with those people. Remember?
Or an episode showing them fall in love, because that's another love storyline shoehorned in. They're like, oh, you two were a thing? They're like, yeah, years ago.
I think that this is
we could have seen that.
I think that Eternals could be its own universe.
Yeah.
And that's like, there's just so much going on here that I feel like a miniseries would feel like it's its own universe when the movie kind of feels like Marvel.
Yeah, like
it's like
the Eternals comic runs were really good.
Fuck, I kind of want to go read them now.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was Druid. I thought he was badass. He was cool.
Yeah, he was neat. And again, I didn't like him because of what he was doing to the people.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it. That was another point of... So
I was assuming they were all straights, and I'm like, hypnotize and torture them straights.
But like his reasoning for doing it made sense. Yeah. Same with Icarus's reasoning for sticking with the Celestials made sense. It's like nobody was bad. They just were approaching things differently. Fuck, this movie was good.
It was good.
It had a lot of good undertones.
Like all the characters were gray, pretty much, besides like Cersei. And then, which I think is very sad that he was 11th build, but Ma Dong-seok, I don't know how to say his name. He plays Gilgamesh. He was my second favorite character. I really like Gilgamesh.
Oh, are we gonna rate our characters? Are we gonna do that? Fuck.
But
he was one of my favorites too. I can't really put a number on him because I think all of them had strong suits. Seriously.
Yeah, Gilgamesh was so cool. I liked that he like sacrificed his life to help Thena. He was really cool. I didn't like that he died. That was really sad. He's known for a lot of not American movies like Ashfall, Startup, The Bad Guys, The Gangster,
the Devil,
which all of those came out in 2019. Yeah. So I guess he's like a recently big actor.
Yeah, he was really and I think that's why they made him such a likable character.
Yeah,
so that his death would be more impactful.
And it was. I
was upset.
I didn't want him to die. So yeah, that was good. So yeah, I mean, we don't need to rate all the characters.
I'm not gonna rate them because I think they all.
But my top two is Kingo and Gilgamesh.
I think
I like those.
When I'm thinking back on the movie,
and then my least is Makari, just because she was forgettable. But, yeah.
When I'm thinking back on the movie, and I kind of do need to watch it again. I feel like all characters got equal screen time.
Besides Makari.
Makari,
and
yes.
Druid, kind of.
But towards the end, he came back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody like was pretty equal, and then Salma Hayek, like she wasn't in it much, but she was
dead.
Like I feel like it was a well balanced movie. I think they did as good as they could have done.
Yeah, it was
I think this was the best version that we could get in a movie format. Yeah.
Because it was a true ensemble movie. Like I don't think of any of them as being the main lead.
My one gripe with the movie, the villain.
Oh yeah, the villain was what, the Celestials?
No,
the Deviants.
The Deviants.
Yeah,
Mega
I
Deviant.
forgot about the Deviants.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because I just remembered. Like that was my
Mega
main.
Deviant was hot. Okay, I wanted him and Thena to.
But that's what. But like they could have explored that. They could have explored, because you told me in the comics they actually like got married or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's that deviant, but she did end up marrying a deviant.
But like that's what I mean is that was the shittiest part of this movie, and that's such a big Marvel downfall is the goddamn villains.
Yes.
And that like I completely forgot about the villain.
But they really weren't the villains though, because they were also just an experiment of the Celestials. The true villains were the Celestials,
but they weren't even villains,
or the Judge. Well,
but the Celestials weren't even villains.
Well, the true antagonist.
Yeah, it depends who you agree with. Like, if you agree with Icarus, they weren't the villain. Like, but that's what I mean. And then,
well, same as the Deviants.
They could have explored the Deviants more.
The Deviants were literally created to kill humans.
The Deviants felt like more of like a chuck in because they needed them as a plot device.
They were space dogs.
That's what they felt like.
Yeah,
space dogs.
That's what Rocket called the villains in Endgame or Infinity War.
But that's what I mean is I feel like the Deviants could have been the Deviants like could get their own fucking TV show.
Yeah,
like it's just
because they had a cool storyline too. Like they were created to
it's just
to make the humans stronger or whatever.
It upsets me because I feel like there was too much, and there wasn't enough.
Yeah,
there wasn't enough to explore all this.
There was a cool like I like the storyline of the Celestials creating the universe and all that. But I didn't like how it was shown, like that there was like literally a 20-minute exposition dump.
Yeah, I remember that.
Of them just
and that's what I mean,
telling you everything.
That's why I think it would have been cooler if we were thrown right into these people's lives.
Yeah.
And then like we kind of figure it out as we go, like a TV show.
Yeah.
That would be sick. I just think they did the best they could. Because I bet the director was given a big task. Like, you need to make this the next thing in Marvel.
Yeah.
And you got to include all this. And that makes it difficult. So,
yeah, it does.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll... but we're already past... Like, there's going to be more Eternals movies, and there's going to be more movies with,
they're going to show up in other movies, some of the characters.
Yeah, but I just wish, like, they could redo this and explore this some more. Because I think that there was a lot more they could have done with this. And it upsets me because I would have been in love with it.
Yeah.
You know?
I know what you mean.
Or if they did like a trilogy of just this.
Yeah.
They could have done that.
That would have been cool.
They could have done that.
They still might. I mean, they might do it.
No, but I mean, like, this whole movie, the ultimate ending to this movie being a fucking trilogy.
Yeah, like
they could have done
the
that.
ending to the trilogy was the
them stopping the Celestial
coming out of the Earth.
They could have done that. And like, some people may say, like, well, that'd be drawn out too much, but they could, like, there's so much more that they could explore.
Yeah, they could have just introduced 4 of these characters in the first movie.
Yeah!
Another 4 in the second movie.
And then they could have
another 4 in the third movie.
Yeah, they could have actually gotten into Black Knight.
Yeah, they could have fleshed out some of these characters instead of just putting all of them in one. Yeah,
that's what I wish. I think I think miniseries would have been great, but taking this whole movie and the ultimate, like, ending to this movie, spreading it over 2 or 3 movies, that would have been perfect.
Yeah. And they should have had less scenes of them all standing in a line looking at a camera that's not there.
Yeah.
They always just stood and
power stance.
There was like wind blowing in their hair. Yeah. But yeah, so overall, what do you give this movie out of 10?
I kept flip-flopping. About halfway through this, I was like, I agree with the audience, 8 out of 10. But I'm just going to split the difference between 6 and 8. I'm going to say 7.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 7 too.
Yeah, just because I think, and I mean, I've said it so much at this point, but I think they could have done more. And the shitty part for me is I want to see more.
Yeah.
And that's what upsets me the most. Like, there's some movies where I'm like, oh, they could have done more, and I didn't really care.
Yeah.
This movie, I do care. So I'm a little upset.
Yeah, no, I give it a 7 as well. Overall, I enjoyed it. I did talk about some of the flaws I didn't super enjoy, but overall, it was a good, entertaining watch. So this movie gets 14 Movie Addict chips out of 20. And
solid score.
Any final thoughts?
No.
All right.
Don't hate me.
Until next time, bye.